That looks amazing. Alright, it looks like we are all set to go. So, it has been a few months since we had the opportunity to return here to the Rising Stones and tell Tataru and Kryl of what's going on with the Scions of the Seventh Dawn who are stuck in the First. Tonight, we get to see the continuation of this story as patch 5.2 has been released. So hey there Miguel, Elizabeth, and to everyone else that's just logging on, we're glad to have you with us here tonight. So, greetings people of the world, Matthias Griffin back with you for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers live. And, for the first time ever, it gives me the great honor and privilege to let you know that this stream is being broadcast in 1080p 60 frames per second. Meaning if you want to see the best picture ever for a stream on this channel, then you can go onto settings and make that choice to switch over to 1080p 60 and see this in full HD. So, how amazing is it that I'm wanting to do this for the first time ever? Why don't we find out? Kryl will have the opening quest for us in patch 5.2's main story, so let's go ahead and speak with her to take on the quest entitled Old Enemies, New Threats. Kryl is glad for your return, though it remains to be seen if she has glad tidings to share. Shinji, my, what a pleasant surprise! If you've come to inquire after the Archons, fear not. Master Matoya's treatment has proven effective in stabilizing the corporeal ether. While we mustn't grow complacent, however, potent though these magics may be, they are not without limits. We can only hope they afford us enough time for the Crystal Exarch to complete his work. If we could only go with you to the first and help! Pardon the interruption, but I come bearing urgent news. Who goes there? Yeah, it's our old friend Maxima from the Guardian Empire who got basically thrown to the wolves, as it were. Ah, Shinji, it has been far too long, my friend. Yeah, good to see you too there, Maxima. Oh, hold on here. Forgive me, I don't believe we have been formally introduced. Maxima, former Garmilian ambassador. I remain here in Eorzea under the auspices of Commander Aldin, offering what counsel I can in the hopes of resolving the present conflict with the Empire. Yeah, we met him back in Stormblood. Oh yes, I've heard stories of a defector from Garlemald. But never mind that, you say you have urgent news? Indeed, as you may have heard, the Imperial capital is in turmoil, and a sizable portion of the Guardian forces have been recalled from the Gimlet Dock. With their numbers so greatly diminished, the main host of the Alliance has withdrawn, leaving the Alamegan resistance to keep watch over the border. Well, that's good news for us. And it is there we have welcomed a most unexpected visitor who claims that this de-escalation may belie growing dangers and unforeseen threats. Why is that? Commander Aldin has arranged for an impromptu meeting to discuss these revelations. He has also requested a representative of the Scions attend as well, though it was clear to whom he wished I extend this invitation. Clearly. It would seem time is of the essence. Well, if you'll not be attending this meeting alone, though I am not as well versed in the affairs of city-states as our comrades, I see no reason to burden a single Scion with all this. Alright then. Yes, of course, though we must make for the Alamegan quarter with all haste. Wait, what are you waiting for? Get going, you two! Yeah. Don't worry, Tataru. We know you'll hold the fort down over here at the Rising Stones. And yeah, Guardians bow like male Elizan do. So, off we go to Alamigo. Yeah, perfectly understandable there, Elizabeth. It was something I wanted to do earlier today on Twitch, and so I did that, and so now that that's been taken care of, we're now over here. So let's head off to where everyone else is going to be. As Shinji takes a ride on the Sophia bird. So we'll arrive down here where we will hopefully see Maxima arriving any moment now. Along with a whole bunch of other people. Yeah, how is everyone tonight for the launch of patch 5.2? Hey there, Maxima, can you see me? Commander Olden awaits us in the Royal Palace. If you would follow me. Lead on then. So, once inside, there's Raubon. And who is he talking to? Well, it's a face we know all too well. So you survived again, Gaius?
They're here, Commander.
Yeah. Will nothing kill this man? And where's Alphino? Or, not him.
Told you've been busy since our paths last crossed at the Gimlet Dark.
Yeah, not Alphino, it's Stenian. Yeah, where's he?
Not that I understand half of it. When the science spoke of other worlds, I'd struggled to describe what I pictured. Mayhap things would seem clearer were I to hear the tale from your own lips. But I'm afraid the situation will not afford us that luxury.
Indeed.
I trust you two require no introduction.
Or his two friends, either.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea.
It's like, do you really have to be here?
Must we repeat this ridiculous display? I pose no threat to you, though what I come to warn you of very well might.
And what would that be?
Had he meant to do us harm, I hazard he would have kept to the shadows, and brought more than 2 companions.
Can never be too careful, eh, General?
We need not pretend to be the best of friends, but I hope we can put aside our differences for the present.
Alright then. You got my attention.
As you are doubtless aware, Sir Estinian and I cooperated to rid the world of Black Rose in your absence.
Yeah, we heard about that.
Our journey together took us as far as the Imperial Palace, where we witnessed Emperor Varus meet his death at Xenos' hand. Being the sole witnesses to this crime, and in no position to defend our innocence, we were then forced to flee, each pursuing his own avenue of escape.
So sadly,
When
we don't know where he is.
reunited, Estinian claimed to have encountered an unfamiliar kind of machina during his flight, but to me his description seemed anything but, and upon further investigation I found that I was right.
So what are you going to tell us about?
The Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon.
Ah, man.
What, that Allagan monstrosity, created to vanquish primals, with which you yourself once thought to conquer Eorzea?
And which Edie was able to successfully defeat.
The same. In my foolishness, I sought to harness its power, and became the Ascian's pawn in so doing.
And got your butt kicked from pillar to post.
But you know as well as I how that tale ended.
Oh yeah.
The weapon itself, excavated from beneath this very city, was destroyed ere we could fully unravel its secrets. And that should have been the end of it.
Yeah, it should have. Unfortunately.
But unlikely as it sounds, the Empire's efforts to recreate it have somehow borne fruit. Primarily through secret research conducted by the 7th Imperial Legion, it would seem.
Wait, the 7th was all but annihilated at Cartano, along with its legatus.
Apparently not.
Indeed, few survived. The 7th, as it is now, has little in common with the Legion led by Vandanus, and its leadership has changed hands several times since. Precisely how this project has continued despite such turmoil, and under whose auspices, remains a mystery. What we do know, however, is that a number of prototypes have been produced, and that one of them is on its way to Eorzea.
Perfect. Yeah, this is
We
bad
attempted
timing.
to stop it, but it was all we could do to slow progress, so we resolved instead to bring you warning.
And right glad are we that you did, though it soundly dashed our hopes that tensions might ease at last.
Yeah, we can't have that luxury now, can we?
As it is, we've begun to strengthen our presence in the Gimlet Dark, and are assembling a force to meet the coming threat. A force with you in its vanguard, I hope.
Well,
Before you say
you to
anything,
do what I need to do.
I know full well you have pressing concerns of your own. Your comrades remain in peril, and I would not ask you to forsake them. But the fact remains that you and you alone have faced the Ultima weapon and emerged victorious. We need you.
Everyone does.
And so, when the time comes, if your comrades can spare you, I bid you lend us your strength. I've assigned an officer to await your word.
I'm guessing that's him.
The Ascian's downfall was to be the work of my remaining days, but it was my hand that kindled these flames, and I cannot allow them to spread any further. I will do what I must to see this mistake consigned to history once and for all, even if it means begging your aid. The fates will enjoy the irony, even as I endure the ignominy.
Even though they certainly will. Yeah, even as you endure the ignominy. Yeah. Our job here is done. We've told you what
I
we
too
needed
shall
to
make for the
do,
boardroom
and we're
after my
off.
skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon.
Hopefully sooner rather than later. But thanks for letting us know about everything there, Maxima.
Though we can ill afford to ignore the coming of a new Ultima weapon, our friend's plight grows ever more precarious, and none save you can join them in the first. I only hope you are not forced to make a choice.
I hope so too. And so away we go. So yeah, let's head on out and speak with Kralk to complete this quest. As ever, the way forward is paved with difficult decisions. Indeed it is. Especially as we see more people all pawning up here. We can ill afford to ignore the threat of a new Ultima weapon, but with each passing day the plight of the Science grows ever more perilous. If you cannot stay for a debriefing on the Ultima weapon, I will not stop you. I only ask that you confer with me before returning to the first. I believe we can do that. So we'll go ahead and take our 1,611 gil and complete this first quest. So let's move right along to take on Kryl's next quest entitled The Way Home. Kryl can see the steely resolve in your eyes and suspects she knows to where duty calls you. I take it you're ready to return to the first? Then I will ask that you apprise the others of recent events here in the source, namely Xenos' return and the development of a new Ultima weapon. As for their bodies, you may assure them Master Matoya and I will continue doing what we can to keep their corporeal ether stable. Safe travels, Shinji. I hope to see you and the other Scions soon. I hope so too there, Kryl. Yeah, because you guys have enough on your hands as it is. So let's make now for the Crystarium. Yeah, not surprisingly, it will take a while to load in. It is opening night. And thus we've arrived at the first. So let's make our way directly to the docile gates. And so let's head on up the stairs and make our way into the ocular. Because yeah, this quest in terms of things to do will not take very long. Let's head right on in. Hey there, Exarch. Good to see you again. You've come at a most opportune time, my friend. I made something of a breakthrough in my research on the soul and a means to return to the Scion's home. I trust you two have been making good use of your time. Well, we have a lot to talk about. Ill tidings from the source, you say? Then I will summon the others that we might all be apprised of the situation. Alright then. Yeah, you're not gonna like it. So, sometime later, we have some of the Scions coming back, but not all of them, and they are accompanied by a Becklug. Yeah, we'll only have 3 of them this time around.
Now that we are all here, what news from the source?
Yeah. Hey guys, I've got some bad news to tell you.
A new Ultima weapon? We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
Of course.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
The situation beareth closer observation, of that there is no doubt, and doth compound our need to return unto the source.
Yeah, which comes
Then
over
let
to
us
you.
address that issue. Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion.
Let's hope so.
Thanks in large part to Urianger and Becklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
And what does he have?
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white aurosite, but without its regrettable limitations. And after a good deal of trial and error, we made one.
Well, that's good.
An ark for soul and mind both that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will. However,
what? Yeah, it wasn't going to be that simple, right?
Though the vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory, it wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
A gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allegan Emperors, which certainly does not flow within aurosite or any other crystal.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel.
How do you plan on doing this?
I am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
as well you should be. The Allegan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past. but its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
Well, let's hope you're right.
I know that you can ill afford to wait, and it pains me that I must ask you to do so. I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found. Whatever it takes, I will see you safely home.
Yeah, you better make sure you do that.
My apologies.
Oh, hello there. Ah, Captain Lena, it's been a while since we've seen you.
That mortal peril fast approaches.
I hope so too.
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness.
Okay.
But there is no need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
Okay.
Why not speak in here? She knows I don't mind. Unless she didn't want to.
Private reasons?
Perhaps I might accompany you. Though I am woefully ill-qualified to assist in the XIV's research, I may yet be of some use to Lena.
Alright then. And so we'll go ahead and take our 1,694 gil, plus our choice of food or money, which for 500 gil apiece, we could have gotten that stuff back over in the Lane of Eorzea. So we'll go ahead and choose between the King Salmon Meunier, the creamy salmon pasta, or the rare roast beef, which in my situation, the salmon pasta will work best. And so now we've apprised the Scions of the current situation. So now let's proceed to speak with Alphanode and take on our next quest entitled Seeking Counsel. Alphanode is eager to assist Captain Lena. I must confess, while I enjoy my fair share of scholarly research, it would be good to step outside for a spot of fresh air. Now then, shall we go and speak with Lena? Alright then. So let's go outside and join them. I think the biggest thing about this, streaming this the way I am to my new PC for the first time, is that I won't have to rely on my editing the way that I've normally done it before. And which will allow me to get things edited a lot more quickly than usual. So, let's go ahead and speak with Lena. We have little time, so I will be brief. A Sin Eater has been sighted in Lakeland, and I ask for your assistance in slaying it. Another one? Are they still around? A Sin Eater? I'd heard some few yet remained after the night of return, but perhaps we should call the others. That will not be necessary. It is only a single Sin Eater. A simple task for our guard, I should think. That said, I believe fighting alongside the Warrior of Darkness would be a valuable experience for them. Peace can lead to complacency and they gain nothing from an easy victory. But you do not underestimate your foes, however harmless they may seem. My men would do well to learn from your example. Yeah, let's be about that then. Or me? Why not Alphanode? No, let's be about it then. They really want me that badly. Excellent. Then let us make for a full job. Very well then. So off we go to Lakeland. As we prepare to make our way into the Lakeland area. Hey there, Karu. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. They added 2. Yeah, they didn't just add 1, they added 2. So yeah, over here is where Lena is. If you'll wait here a moment, I will gather the others. Alright then. Yeah, she's in a hurry to do it. Yeah, bringing in the reinforcements. Hello there. You may not remember, but you have met these soldiers once before, though only in passing. Long have they waited the opportunity to fight at your side. I was at death's door that day after the seniors was attacked. If you and yours hadn't come along, I'd likely have stepped through, and I wouldn't have been alone. Your courage and selflessness is something we all aspire to. And in the middle, I too was there that terrible day. My friend was transformed into a sin eater before my very eyes, and I had no choice but to cut her down. The thought of returning to the field, of holding a blade again, it filled me with dread. But that is no way to honor her or my comrades, and so I have returned. I swear I will not let you or anyone else down from this day forward. And on the far end, a pleasure to meet you, sir. Truly, it seems like only yesterday I watched as you took flight to Strada Namara to go and save the Oracle. Strange to think that Yulmoran soldiers we once locked blades with are now on our side, but we will do our utmost to keep the peace here in Lakeland. Even as the sun goes down. And so, we seem to be missing one. Yeah, wherever the care they be. And without a helmet, no less. My honest apologies, Captain Lena. An elderly gentleman asked that I escort him to Clearmelt. It took longer than I anticipated. Well, it was an elderly gentleman. I'll not begrudge your desire to help those in need, but a soldier must be punctual, especially when we play host to honored guests. Yeah. Speaking of, it won't happen again. The name's Taylor. I'm sure you don't remember, but we met once before in the infirmary. Yeah, back a long time ago. I asked you to deliver a message to the Exarch and the Warrior of Darkness. Little did I know I was already talking to him. Don't give up. Don't give in. I keep those words close to my heart, and the boundless, beautiful skies above serve as a reminder of their importance. My friend got to see the nice return shortly before he passed. He left this world with a smile, satisfied with a glimpse of what was to come. But there are countless others who weren't so fortunate. Yeah, there were. They gave their lives to the promise of a future they'll never know. And so, it falls to us to do everything we can to fulfill that promise. No matter what happens, we won't give up, we won't give in! Yeah, they are very determined, obviously. Your heroism has inspired all of our guardians in much the same manner. Our scouts at the northern staging point have not yet had the pleasure of meeting you in person. Let us not keep them waiting. Indeed. Actually, they never did there, Elizabeth. They added an extra race in Heavensward, that being the Aura, and then here in Shadowbringers, they added the Viera and the Rothgar. So it's time for us to go where the next group of Crystarium guards are located. And they're not that far from Holminster Switch. So let's go find them and meet them. Yeah, they should be arriving at any time. Here they are. And so upon our arrival, oh, looks like they already beat us to the punch. Hello there.
Did you slay this eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. A man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
He sounds a lot like Oriange, doesn't he?
By himself. Certainly it is no light warden, but nevertheless.
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did. I've never seen anything like it. So I says to him, "Who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness?" And he says, "No, I'm a warrior of light." And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
What's going on here?
A warrior of light?
Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood.
Yeah, but...
I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be him, the Warrior of Darkness.
Eh?
Yeah, he realizes.
Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
Yeah, look how happy they all are to see me. And there goes the Sin Eater, or what's left of them.
Since the Eater is no longer a threat, our work here is done. Return to your posts.
Yeah, we didn't even need to engage in combat. And away they go.
I had hoped to fight at your side today. But I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
So what do you make of this?
I apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat. As for this Warrior of Light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood.
Sadly.
The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrades' deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph. But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world. Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias. But
Yeah,
that
it
is
is
neither
weird,
here
isn't
nor
it?
there. I thank you for accompanying me.
You're welcome.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Very well. Just go back the way we came.
Forgive me. There is one more thing.
And what would that be?
A personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
I believe we can set aside time for you.
Take your time. I shall go on ahead.
Hey April, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. In this expansion, Karu is when the title changes. So let's go ahead and speak with Lena to complete this quest. Patch was new launched today, April.
Words. This matter concerns the Exarch.
What's
Though
wrong?
his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time.
So you're obviously worried for him. Fair enough.
But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with a salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating.
Well, that's one indicator of it.
Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true.
Yeah. Instead of yearning to die, now he yearns to live. His life has been given actual purpose.
It is for this reason that I seek your advice. Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was. He seems a different man, a younger man. I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy.
Well, that's good, right?
It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there.
So what's the
Though
worry?
it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before.
Incidentally, a few hours ago I was talking with Yuna and Shima. They told me an exactly similar story about someone we know all too well in real life. Pretty much word for word. Anchors keep us where we have to be chosen to be, or he's lost without you, you know, and he misses you already. Yeah. Let's go with the more... I don't think he's the sentimental type.
Is that so? Then perhaps we might remain as we were. As we have always been.
Well, you do work for him.
What a relief. In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work.
Well, he is
This
dedicated to his
research is
craft.
important, I know. But if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
And so we'll take our 1,245 gil for completing this quest. You'd either have to watch my Let's Play in its entirety to find out, or play the game for yourself and get to this point there, Karu. But that's why I do this Let's Play for all of you guys, is so that you can keep track of the stuff that you have missed or have been missing. So let's go ahead and speak with Lena again to take on our next quest entitled Facing the Truth. Her mind at ease, Lena is ready to return to her duties. I will not keep you. You and your comrades have much to discuss. I will see the others back to their posts. And so, with her task done, away she goes. And we will return to the Crystarium. Yeah, I was speaking with Shima earlier, just after I was streaming on Twitch today, and it turns out that our friend Angela has made the painful decision that in order to move forward with her life, she had to cut loose everyone that she already knew in it. That included us, the Maria family, and everyone else. So it was sad to hear that, because we've given her as much support as we possibly could over the course of the 4 years that we've known her. But this was her decision, so we have to respect it. I never played World of Warcraft there, April. If you're thinking of Minecraft, I have played that on this channel. So yeah, and also to all of our new viewers who are watching right now, thanks so much for being with us this evening for the patch 5.2 main story. Please make sure to help support the channel by leaving a like, subscribing if you haven't done so, and please make sure to get in contact with us through the various social media links we have. We also stream on Twitch as well from time to time, so please make sure to do that as well, to follow us on Twitch too. Alright, so back into the Ocular to speak with Alpha Node. The others were quite shocked to hear what we found in Lakeland. But now that you're here, there's a proposal I should like to make. And what would that be? I have been spending a great deal of time in the Cabinet of Curiosity, and of late I have noted more and more people perusing books on history, the years leading up to the Flood in particular. I suspect they wish to know more about the Warriors of Light, as well they should, but nearly everything I've come across describes them as Sin Eaters, or worse. Regardless of whether or not this Warrior of Light is who they claim to be, I worry that their sudden appearance, in conjunction with this renewed interest in their predecessors, may lead to growing unrest and fear. If the people of the Crystarium seek the truth, I say we give it to them. I too can attest to the falsehoods found within full of the many of the Cabinet's tomes, with nary a mention of the noble deeds of Albert and his comrades. To be fair, they bear some responsibility for the Flood, but when the tale is told again and again over the course of a century, I'm not surprised to see their roles distorted and them painted as villains. Were it not for the records stored within the Crystal Tower, I would have had no reason to question the narrative. Unfortunately, that knowledge was of no use, for when I arrived here in the first, the reputation had already been irreparably tarnished. That said, there still remained those who worked tirelessly to defend their good name in those early days following the Flood. Considering all the good they had done, I found it a wonder they needed defending at all. They brought to justice the man who misused my knowledge to bring about the fall of Verbert. That such heroes could be spoken of in the same breath as Sin Eaters is absurd. Indeed it is. Under normal circumstances I would agree, but as time passed, those who knew firsthand of their deeds dwindled, and in the end only one truth remained, that they were the cause of the flood. So what are we going to do? With the world on the brink of oblivion, it was all too easy for the Warriors of Light to become villains deserving only of resentment and hate. At that point, the truth mattered little, it would not change their lots. Thanks to all of you, however, the lot has changed, and now they may heed the long-forgotten truth. You claimed it was Albert who helped you overcome Emmet Silk, correct? Such a revelation would do well to sway the hearts of those who know him only as a villain. I have shared this with a select few, but one and all must be told of his sacrifice. To that end, I say we proceed with Alphinaud's plan. We called together the people of the Crystarium and recounted them the true tale of the Wars of Light and the flood that followed in their wake. Any objections? Nope, we're all in agreement. Well, what say you, Shinji? Yeah, spread the word, we would say, or I wish we had done this sooner. In hindsight, I agree, but better late than never, no? Exarch, might I ask you to continue working with Becklug on our means of returning home? The rest of us will see to gathering the people of the Crystarium in the XIV. We'll have to reach out to anyone and everyone who might be willing to lend an ear. With any luck, word will spread more and more company then. And so away they go. So yeah, we have to head on out of the Ocular to speak with no fewer than 5 people. Where's my cup of water? Alright, so upon leaving the Crystarium, or rather the Ocular, yeah, they say we have to go speak with a total of 5 different people. And one of them is thankfully conveniently right over this way. As we go into Spadrix, aka the infirmary, here's Chesamil. Let's speak to her. Shinji, my, what a wonderful surprise. Though I hope your being here doesn't mean someone's been hurt. Thanks to you, I've had far fewer patients coming through my door of late, which is a shame come to think of it. I've had few opportunities to test my new medicines. Yeah, which gives her cause to laugh. I jest, of course. It's been quite pleasant to have a few moments to myself now and again. Well, got some moments to spare for me? The truth about the Wars of Light? But the Exarch has already spoken with me about them. Well, if there's more to the tale, I'd very much like to hear it. Excellent. And so now the pursuit begins. Having to visit no fewer than 5 different locations, and speaking with 5 people we are very familiar with. Next, let's head on over to the Pendants. And wait for the uber long load to take place. Yeah, sometimes I wonder in situations like this if it just makes sense to walk over. But next up we are gonna be speaking with Glynard. Hey there, big guy. Well, to what do I owe the pleasure? Whatever it is, I must ask you to be brief. With the night return, visitors have been flocking to the Crystarium, and I must find myself too busy by half. I don't mind if there's seeing the stairs so full of life and excitement, one can almost forget the flood ever happened. Yeah, about that flood? The truth about the Warriors of Light. But you already told me there is to know, didn't you? Well, if there's more to their story, I'd love to hear it. Maybe then I can compete with Stella and regaling patrons with stories of their heroism. Perhaps I'll even inspire a few aspiring adventurers. Yeah, that could happen. So now we'll make our way through the Musica Universalis. Drop down off the ledge. And find Market Master Bragi. Come to browse wares on the market, have you? Well, I can guarantee you'll have no trouble finding what you need, whatever it may be. Under Yulmor's new leadership, trade has never been more prosperous. Word is it that fellow from Daedalus Stoneworks has taken over as mayor. Did he really? Little wonder business is booming the way it is. I imagine it won't be long before all of Norvrot reaps the benefits. But you've not come to talk about the market. Something on your mind? Quite a bit, actually. I see. The XIV did mention that they had something to do with your returning the night to Norvrot. Alright, consider my interest piqued. Awesome. Alright, so for this next part, we have to go further north. And run over to the Crystalline Mean. What are you dancing to there, Elizabeth? Alright, now that we're over here, let's make a beeline to Catless. I volunteer as tribute! Hey there, Catless. Well, what a coincidence. I was just reading over a letter I received from Grenold not long ago. He says a visitor from the Custodian found him at the bottom of the ocean, and that he inspired him to reach new artistic heights. Well, I can only think of one person capable of both feats, though I'd say the latter is far more impressive. To think fate could bring the two of you together in such a place. And speaking of bringing people together in a place, I'm sorry, you mean the XIV didn't tell us the whole story of the Warriors of Light? Well, whatever he's left unsaid, I'm all ears. Being as you're an Alazin, I wouldn't be surprised by that. Or an elf, more specifically, since we're in the first. Yeah, I'll never get over the race names for the people over in Eorzea and in the source. That will always be what I prefer to say. So finally, we get back to the Cabinet of Curiosity, the big giant library, where we'll once again be saying hello to the shy librarian Morin. No, this can't be. Surely there is at least one book in here that does not cast the Warriors of Light and their deeds in such a negative light. Maybe we can help you out? He's like, what? Oh, Shinji, forgive me. The Cabinet of Curiosity has been bustling with visitors of late, but I fear our repository lacks for the knowledge they seek. The people wish to know the truth of the flood, of the Warriors of Light. I've searched high and low, but alas, every account portrays them as no better than sin eaters, abominations worthy only of scorn and resentment. I know they were not always judged so harshly, yet I can find no proof, and I dare call myself a librarian. Well, maybe I can help you out. You would address the people and tell them the truth of the Wars of Light? Of the Flood? How wonderful! You have regaled me with the tale once before, but I should love to hear it again. Oh, and you may be assured I will not come alone. Well, that's all we can hope for, right? Yeah, quick gets getting stuck on random stuff. Back to the docile gate. As we chill out while we're in transition. So yeah, everyone's gonna be right out here in the middle of the area in front of the ocular, so... There you are. Between the four of us, I dare say we've swept the Crystarium from top to bottom. Now we need but wait for the people to gather. On a rainy night like this, that might be easier said than done. but that's why we waited for the rain to stop and for the sun to rise for the next morning. And yeah, there are a ton of people here.
Yes, this looks to be nearly everyone. Let us begin, shall we? Though I am usually the first to hold forth at such events, I think on this occasion that honor should fall to you.
Really? Is like, you sure about this?
They would be more inclined to take the word of the Warrior of Darkness.
Indeed. In light of the subject matter, who better than thee to speak these truths?
He's like, oh, alright. Hi, everyone. I'm sure I need no introduction. And so because of that, let's just get down to it. I'm going to tell you about everything that happened with the Warriors of Light. Everything they did before the flood took place. Yeah, because having had Shinji vanquish all 4 cardinal virtues, he would know their stories firsthand. And then, right when the world was on the verge of danger and of being annihilated, they were there to save us when they needed it the most.
Wicked White? The Warriors of Light did all that?
Yes, they did.
So they never... I mean, they only ever wanted to help. And when everything they'd done turned to ash, they still carried on.
They gave everything to stop the flood. First their lives, then their souls. And they managed it too, in the end. They saved us. And we cursed their names.
For 100 years. Yeah, everyone's like, oh man, I feel so bad inside.
This should go a long way towards clearing the air.
Let's hope so. So yeah, hopefully everyone's better now. But wait a minute. Are we seeing things? Yeah, do you see what I see?
Impossible.
Yeah, you see him too? Or, I take it I'm not imagining this then.
I definitely see something. You don't think it's a ghost, do you?
Nay, yonder standeth no bloodless apparition, but a warrior of light and darkness both. Ardbert.
So he's back?
What in the world?
How is this happening? Yeah, behind you.
It's you! The one who slew the Eater!
Oh, that was him? Yeah.
That it should be the Warrior of Darkness who brought the truth to light. You've saved me a fair bit of time. Though I have a few words of my own to say, if I may.
Go right ahead. Yeah, also his blood is no longer
People
stained
of
in
the
blood.
Crystarium!
Or,
I am Ardbert. One of those you know as a warrior of light.
I meant to say his axe is no longer stained in blood. Yeah, his blood is not stained with his axe.
That's impossible. You should be dead.
So how's he alive?
Aye, that I should. But as the world has been given new life, so too have I. I know not why I, and I alone, have been gifted this chance. But I do know this. Only by the will of the star itself could such a miracle come to pass. The
Why was he
hero
mad?
who stands before you now, the warrior of darkness, is not of this world. And the day will come when he must return to his home.
Yeah, like, why would he tell them that?
But this land is our home. And if it is to remain so, now and forevermore, it is we who must protect it. The time to rely on saviors from afar has passed. It is you who must rise. You who must become the new warriors of light!
What? Us? Warriors of light?
Yeah, I don't think they'll necessarily be privy to that. They probably still have reservations about people like you. Yeah, they're all like, this makes no sense.
None of us were born heroes, my friend. I was only ever a man with a thirst for adventure. But wherever my journeys took me, I was invariably confronted with the same choice. To lend what aid I could to those in need, or not. And I always chose the former. Any one of you could do the same. All you need is the will to help your fellow man, and the resolve to see it through.
So why aren't we saying these things? Yeah, we could just as easily said it ourselves, but thanks for saving us the trouble there, Ardbert.
From thine own lips did we learn of Ardbert's fate, and by thy countenance I gather thou art not inclined to recant thy testimony. Yet whosoever this man may be, his words hold truth and resonate with the citizenry besides. For us to voice our doubts here and now would serve but to sow disquiet. 'Twere better we retired unto the ocular and there discuss this matter in private.
Go. I will stay here and watch.
Okay. Yeah. What's he doing coming out of nowhere? Yeah, still giving his heartfelt plea. So back to the ocular we go. So, once back inside, yeah, we can monitor the situation.
So, that is a warrior of light of the first.
Indeed.
I've not had the pleasure of making his acquaintance, but as you all seem to be in agreement, I gather this is no simple case of mistaken identity.
As far as I was able to discern, that was indeed Ardbert. It has been a long time, but not that long. Could he truly have been resurrected as he claims?
Yeah. We'll, how we say, absolutely not. It looks like him and sounds like him, but it isn't him. Yeah. Because wouldn't any of you have greeted us more happily? Yeah. We see through it.
His very soul unto thee. I see no reason to question thy judgment.
Nor I. To my eyes, your ether burns as brightly as the day you slew Emmett Selk. That is proof that he is with you still.
Yeah, so what's going on here?
Standeth now before the people is far more than a passing imitation. I am reminded of the cardinal virtues, though a sin-eater he is not. Which leaveth but one plausible explanation.
And what would that be?
That he is an Ascian.
Well, we know who's next on the list.
Given their fondness for posthumous possession, I would have to agree. From what I understand, the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore by those whom they had aided in life. At the time, some few still remembered them as heroes. Needless to say, 4 of them were subsequently exhumed to serve as the virtues. And if one knew where to look, Ardbert too would not have been difficult to find.
Assuming then that this is indeed the work of an Ascian, my mind inevitably turns to the last remaining paragon to survive the Sundering.
And who would that be?
Elidibus.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we heard that name. Though not that long.
That Xenos hath reclaimed his own flesh is known. Thus evicted from his borrowed form, and cognizant no doubt of Emet-Selk's failure here in the First, 'tis quite possible the emissary chose Ardbert for his next vessel.
Yeah, wasting no time going right back to action.
Inhabiting the flesh of the fallen. My, that is unsavory. And they do this often, you say?
Too often.
Verily, for they possess no corporeal forms of their own. In what one may term their natural state, none save those gifted with the echo can perceive them. Indeed, when Elidibus intruded upon the waking sands, his presence did go unmarked by all save Minfilia and the Warrior of Light. On that occasion I myself remained ignorant of his coming until after his departure. 'Twas only at a later juncture, when he deigned to appear before me in borrowed flesh, that I was finally able to take the measure of him. In such puppetry do the Ascians engage when they seek to influence the course of history.
All too often.
And they have gained much by it. Emet-Selk single-handedly built the Garlean Empire in this manner, while the Hebrea came close to conquering Eorzea, having taken possession of Thancred's living body.
Yet it must needs be noted that the Ascians cannot avail themselves of all mortal vessels. For were they able to do so, none would serve as a better pawn than our own redoubtable champion. Mayhap the blessing of light shieldeth Hydaelyn's chosen from Ascian influence. Or mayhap other forces are at work. We cannot say for certain.
Whatever the reason, I hope it holds true. I dare not contemplate what might come to pass otherwise.
Is it not peculiar, then, that Ardbert's mortal remains should be susceptible, given that he was once a warrior of light? Or did the final departure of his soul make it possible, perhaps?
Enough of a window of opportunity?
Regardless, to hear an Ascian use him to call forth new warriors of light boggles the mind.
Maybe he wants to get the flood restarted.
Elidibus hath ever been an enigma, his ostensible purpose being to preserve the balance between light and dark. When he made overtures towards me, however, I was afforded a glimpse behind the mask of the self-appointed emissary.
Yeah, we know about that.
I shall not defend mine actions, undertaken in pursuit of a better understanding of our foe as either wise or prudent. Nevertheless, what little I did glean may now prove useful.
I hope you're right about that.
Elidibus possesseth a subtle mind, practiced in the art of manipulation. That he coaxed this star's most valiant heroes as far as the source with naught save half-truths is no trifling feat. And now I believe he doth employ his skills once more to some as yet unknown end. Though naught is certain, should my suspicions prove true, we shall have need of all our wits if we are to uncover and thereafter thwart his plot.
Agreed. 'Tis plain that simply speaking out against him will not avail us. At best, it would only serve to confuse the people. And I would hesitate to do anything which might tarnish Ardbert's reputation once more, nor yours by association.
Thank you.
That being the case, it may be wise to keep a covert eye on this Ardbert's movements, as we attempt to discern his purpose and how best to mitigate his influence.
So how will we do that?
His
Meanwhile,
performance appears to have concluded. What now? Go back out and follow him?
might not be a bad idea.
'Twould appear Master Alphino already hath pursuit in mind, and I suspect one pair of eyes shall better serve our cause than half a dozen. Let the rest of us maintain an inconspicuous distance, for the present at least.
See, at least we know that Alphinaud will keep an eye on things, so what will happen now that we have to deal with Elidibus yet again, this time manipulating Ardbert's own body, as we take 1,165 gil and choose one of the 3 foods. This time we will go with the robe lettuce salad. Exactly there, Elizabeth. Yeah, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So, let's move on now to speak with the Crystal Exarch to take on our next quest entitled Asleep Disturbed. With furrowed brow, the Crystal Exarch deliberates your next move. You did well to dispel the falsehoods surrounding the Warriors of Light and their actions prior to the Flood, though I must say the reappearance of Albert, or rather, one who appropriated his identity, was a rather curious development. He is an impostor, of that there is no doubt, but to the masses he will appear as a hero returned from the grave. After the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore, the people prayed fervently for the gods to deliver them from their plight, prayed that these fallen heroes be born again for their sacrifices. What bitter irony! I, for one, would like to know why Albert urged the people to become Warriors of Light themselves. Ere we take action, we must needs ascertain his intent. Let us pray that Master Alphinaud return us soon with that most essential knowledge. For now, I think it best to apprise Thancred and Reen of our efforts. When we do confront Albert, we shall no doubt have need of their strength. Agreed. I think it prudent we all take measures to prepare for what's to come. Backlog and I will continue our research into how we might improve the spirit vessel, that it might one day carry you home. Yeah, so the sooner the better. And what's on your mind there, Ishtola? Then I think it's our time I return to the Great Wood. Until now, everything we have learned of the Ascians has been handed to us at their leisure. But that was one of Emmett Silk's unique failings. I have no reason to think Elidibus will be as forthcoming. Fortunately, I received word from Fano that heretofore unexplored chambers have been discovered deep within the Katana Revel. Ahmet believes the relics within will tell of a great calamity that befell an ancient civilization, that of the Ascians, perhaps, that they may lead us to the truths we seek. Let's hope so. Yeah. Would you be careful company, or be sure to let me know how that works out? No, let's go with her. It's important we know everything. I wouldn't dream of going without you. When you are ready, make for Fano. Almet and her sisters will be expecting us. And so we know where we're going next. Then let us be about our tasks. Pray give my regards to the Vis. And so, away we go. Time to head off to the Raktika Greatwood. Yeah, it's been a while since we've been back here. But if they've got important stuff for us to know, then we need to know about it. Let's let's return to the sisters. Welcome, allies of Ronka. We have accomplished much since last you came. With the Light Warden dead and its minions dispersed, we have at last reclaimed our hunting grounds near Raktika Falls. It was there that we discovered more ruins. Although we ran afoul of no traps while exploring its halls, we determined that its innermost chambers were warded by magic. We were all in agreement. Before any investigation could proceed, you should be summoned. Glad you did. We are grateful that you did. From what you have told me, I strongly suspect that the wisdom my comrades and I seek can be found within. This wisdom can prove invaluable, for we may soon face a foe whose greatest asset is our ignorance. I see. Then it is good that you have come, for Ronka was once home to the greatest of weapons, knowledge and understanding. And it is our duty to ensure you and yours do not want for either. That said, we must proceed with caution. To have reached the inner chambers unmolested suggests a more formidable deterrent yet lies within. Come now, surely any threats within the ruins pale in comparison to those you have faced thus far. This is not a game, sister. You should not be so eager to run headlong into danger. Oh, and who was it pining for the return of our allies that we might venture into the ruins, clutching a staff at night, wishing it were... You promised not to tell! Then I suggest we must be going. You're like, get back here! Yeah, you're gonna leave her in tears. Remind me, how exactly old are you and your sisters? On second thought, perhaps it's better I do not know. Pray forgive their overzealous nature. None save we three have been privileged to escort you and yours into the ruins and bear witness to its secrets. Their hearts now burn with a curiosity that is not easily satiated. Please, you needn't apologize. As a seeker of knowledge myself, I understand full well the enthusiasm. And if not for your sedulous efforts to protect the ruins, we would not be afforded this opportunity. Speaking of which, I believe I have kept you away from the ruins long enough. Come, let us make for the Ketona Revel. Yeah, indeed, we must be on our way. Yeah, hopefully you can get back to it someday here, April. And off we go. Back to the Katana Revel. Means flying through the Great Wood. Yeah, you don't get to hear the theme music just yet that everyone loves so much. But as you can see, we've got a glowing light imminent, so that means we have to, for the first time in this patch, prepare for combat. There, now you get the theme music. You happy? It is most strange for these halls to be left unguarded. Have care when breaking the seal on the chamber door. Danger surely awaits us on the other side. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Yeah, we have one of those situations again. We will proceed. And so, as we make our way through the Revel,
come. Our new discoveries are to be found this way.
we've actually run into instances now where sometimes the text boxes are just scrolled through for us. Yeah, especially holds true here and in some later cutscenes. So, what have we found?
The people of Ronka are known to have venerated animals. but these features do not match those of any indigenous species. This is no common beast.
Yeah, it looks more like a monster. Look at the fangs on it.
Though that much is plain from its proportions.
Yeah, those are some scary fangs.
Lifelike, is it not? One could almost imagine it breathed.
Oh, who goes there? Her sister. This is no time to be messing around, you two. Yeah, like, why is this so necessary? So what have we found?
This owl, by contrast, seems no different from the others we've seen.
The sealed door lies ahead.
Well, then let's go and see what it will take to unseal it. You can see there are two pillars off in the distance. One's glowing and the other isn't. So as we arrive...
As you see, one statue is missing. I expect we are meant to replace it as before.
Do we have something we can use for that purpose?
Too simple. There will be some additional defense mechanism.
Yeah, what are we looking for in that regard? Yeah, let's inspect this closer.
Just a moment. There are words carved into the stone.
Can you read them?
He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber shall instead waken the beast and know his folly. Wait! Don't!
Oh, too late.
What? But I only... What is happening?
Yeah. You moved prematurely. And that scary monster has come to life.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, it lives!
Yeah, you were worried about that, weren't you?
Why am I not surprised? Prepare yourselves.
Yep, we have to fight this thing off. Yeah, it's gonna use its fancy stare and take the not only the girls away, but us too. Uh-oh. Did we get kicked out? Yeah, hey there. Where are my friends? Well, there they are. Or rather, there they were. Yeah, all of a sudden, we're playing The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. Yeah, everyone got turned into a painting. Yeah, that they would use A Link Between Worlds of all things as a reference. Yeah, so there they all are. Yeah, in retribution for our souls have I bound. These souls specifically. So, in order to deal with them, I have to do what this thing tells me to do. If you would see their answer, set free, answer me these riddles 3. Thankfully, having done these already, I know how this one goes. Deaf to paw, with kin do I vie, though sought apart, betterment of the whole do our efforts descry. What am I? Now this one confused me when I tried this with Mathia. I was thinking it was going to be the Kalibi because it's a bird, but it turns out it's this Opo Opo. Yeah, I thought it was the Colibri because it's a bird, and birds don't have paws, they have claws. But apparently it's the Opo, and so Old Met goes free. With Fearsome Fang, I travel with Pack. Together we find harmony, and thus for peace our land does not lack. What am I? Yeah, thankfully the remaining two are much easier puzzles. We have to touch the wolf. And so now we've reached at least the two foolish girls. Now we gotta get the two smart girls. On my belly do I crawl, by my strength does prosperity reign within our hall. What am I? Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this one out. That distinction goes to the great Serpent of Ranka. That little worm that we had the opportunity to make everyone in this game smile for a long time, and probably still do. So that's all three of the V's. But we still have to deal with the Stola. Yeah, we couldn't get 4 riddles. Yeah, we'd have to play another game. Yeah, and suddenly we're going back to Valentine's Day for the last 3 years. Choose your companions well or sorrow no. Bring your comrades on the talismans, which in this case is just a Stola. However, yeah, you might be familiar with the memory game from Valentine's Day for the past 3 years. Well, in this case, we don't get any hints. We have a 1 in 3 chance of finding a Stola card. If we turn over a red card, like this one, and match another one with it, we'll have to fight off an enemy. It's not automatic disqualification if we get this wrong. But we did find one of Vishtola's cards, so now we have to find the other. That's not it, so we'll just turn over this one for safety. And we can just keep doing that until we get this right. Now go over here. Of course, this is the last one. Yeah, don't worry, Stola. I'll have you out in a second. Don't worry, I'll have you out in a second. I can only imagine how awkward this must feel. Yeah, everyone's back. They're not in paintings anymore. But we're not finished. Yeah, it's not that simple. They did say combat was required in this, so... That's too bad to hear there, April. Hopefully you'll be able to deal with it. And so now combat begins officially. Basically stay clear of the girls.
No mess!
And do your own thing. Yeah, they'll spread out wherever they need to. Now we gotta run over for a stack mech. Alright, keep on going. Now we gotta deal with this problem. We got 4 little cues showing up on the screen. And they're all gonna trap me. So it's up to each of the ladies to take a line and take it with them. Alright, I'm free to go. But Mr. Waka here is not done with this particular mech. Now take Simmons. I'll take this line over here. Continue on offense in the meantime. Oh, don't come over to run into me. Yeah, especially since you don't want to be in the line of fire of that. all the girls are sitting behind him again. Gotta run away from this. Yeah, run, ladies, run.
I will not hold back.
Don't worry, this big strong man will protect you. But you gotta run away from this. But some choose to stand their ground, and it's a bad idea, but she was in the middle of a cast, so nothing she could have done there. Now we gotta run over here because this boss is now going to flood the field with poison. And this little protective dome is the only place we can stay safe. Not only that, we now have to deal with a copious amount of ads. Come on. Yeah, get the shot off. And then use Coco Nastron and then launch. Step back and ready to do this again. Ah, there it goes. I knew it would go down eventually. Yeah, these things will now just continue to be summoned until we defeat Waka itself. So take this. And we got it. Victory is ours. And down it goes. And thus we got it. So, upon our victory... Yeah, the poor little owl that got sacrificed so that we got warped. But now we're all back. So yeah, let's not repeat what we did before, shall we?
'Twould seem the magics have returned us. How polite. Now, what have we learned?
We were bound to run into a living statue eventually. And now we can open the door.
Yeah, some people never learn. Yeah, now we're not cursed this time. So now the other pillar lights up. And a new path is open.
He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber.
Yeah, that was the warning that we were told about. So, upon our arrival inside, we get to bear witness to another fancy mural. And what do we have here? Including a tomb.
A tomb, just as I thought. Befitting a hero.
She is Vis. Could it be the Archmage Tiuna?
Oh, you know who this is? Yeah, tell us about her.
A legendary hero of Ronka, as you surmised. The tales tell of how she smote entire armies with a single incantation, so potent was her spellcraft. Though she ever fought in the name of peace.
I thought them no more than tales. To think she really existed.
Well, I for one always believed.
I'm sure you did. And what else do we see?
I wonder.
Yeah, what's on your mind, Ashtola?
By the light of fallen stars, great power awakens.
Tiuna was not only a master of spellcraft. It is said she could see truths long lost and hear the voices of men's hearts.
Really?
Naught less than the echo.
Oh, that's interesting.
In which case, none of this is mere coincidence.
What's on your mind?
A shower of stars setting the sky aflame. And in both this world and the Source, we find individuals within whom a mysterious power awakened at the sight. We can never unpick the why of it. Now, however, I believe we might. Does the scene depicted here not resemble the one we saw when we first ventured into the Katana Ravel? Moreover, does it not recall that which Emmett Selk invited us to witness in Amarot?
Yeah, get to witness it firsthand. Yeah, all those people running for their lives.
The final days. If, as the Exarch's research suggests, soul and mind share a fragile yet profound bond, might it not be possible for an event to leave such a deep imprint upon the soul that it could be perceived eons later, given a suitable... The echo defies explanation by conventional etherological theory, or shall we say modern etherological theory. But if it is a power that once belonged to the ancients, to souls yet undivided... It would seem I have entered the realm of pure speculation, and I call myself a scholar. I shall refrain from making any further wild claims until such time as I have evidence.
Well, nothing wrong with theories, right?
Still, I cannot choose but be reminded of our experience in Amarot.
Yeah, then you must recall Emmett Selk's dying request, or I won't soon forget it. Yeah, I won't soon forget it. That I can be sure of.
Remember us.
As we stare at this mural.
History is learned, not lived. We have always protected the tales of Ronka, just as we have protected this place. But we are mindful of what our mothers taught us. We see the past through our own eyes, and speak of it with our own words. Thus do we come to understand it in our own way. But this is not the same as remembering.
Your mothers were wise.
Yes, they were.
Though we witnessed the final days, our impressions cannot fail to be colored by our own experiences and expectations. Those who lived through it would have perceived the event quite differently. We must bear in mind that it is no simple matter to keep the truth alive, or it will die with Emmett Selk and his kin. But we have disturbed Tuna long enough. Fanau will serve similarly well as a venue for our contemplations.
Yeah, and hopefully all that sisters won't be clumsy. Alright, so back over in Fano. All met? By your pensive expression, I take it the tomb has given you much to think about. That is well. In time, the knowledge you've gleaned will lead to understanding and thus arm you for what is to come. Before you leave, however, I would speak again of the teachings of our forebears, of histories learned, not lived. The legend of Tuna and our experts have been told countless times over the centuries, yet as it is handed from one generation to the next, the story changes. With each telling of the tale, there are new flourishes. Details changed or lost. We can never truly know how she lived if we were not there to see it. But we are here now to bear witness to your life. We have seen the change you have wrought, the echoes that will endure long after you are gone. And though it too will change in time, I swear to you, we shall do our best to preserve your story. Thank you there, ladies. I hope you'll forgive me if I don't make an oath of my own, but I think it goes without saying that we can never misspeak of your heroism. Perish the thoughts. So long as we are here, there are none among the beasts who will not know of all of you have done for Novrant. We are not deserving of such reverence, but we are grateful all the same. You can be certain we will have our own tales to tell of the great guardians of Raktika and the ruins of Ronka. I pray you safe travels then. As ever, we shall await your return with open arms. And so with that, we will take our 2,760 gil. And that quest is complete. Before we continue though, I will go ahead and do a quick intermission because I need to go get myself some water and make a run to the washroom, so I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. So, let us return to the main story by go ahead and speaking with the Stola to take on our next quest entitled An Old Friend. By all rights, you should be departing for the Gosterium, but Stola does not seem ready to return. Although we learn naught of the Ascians, the insight we gained into the Echo made our trip worthwhile. Before we return to the Gosterium, however, there's a small matter I would attend to in Slitherbow. Might I trouble you to come with me? Alright. Thank you. After we arrive, we should have a brief word with Runar. Alright then. Yeah. Take care there, Vis. And I will see Mr. Stola over in Slitherbow. So, let's make our way there. Alright, upon our return, here's the Stola having a chat with Runar, her right-hand man. Shinji, it is so good to see you! You've arrived at a most opportune time. I was preparing a pot of my famous stew. Come, have ready a place for you. I'm sorry, Runar, but we haven't the... Please don't insist, it will only take a minute. Yeah, he's wasting no time. He really wants to have us chow down. My apologies, Shinji. It seems our return to the Gosterium will be delayed. But perhaps only for a bit if you assist me with my work. I say work, but it is rather more chore. I must clean my chambers here in Slitherbow from top to bottom. If you'd be so kind as to go and fetch a broom from Asgeir, we might finish before Runar is done cooking. Alright then. I guess we can do that. Yeah, I have no reason why this... Oh, okay. So that's where you find it. Hey, Asgeir. A broom from Master Matoya? I cannot imagine why she would have need of such a thing, but here you are. It is all but sturdy and sure to suffice. Thank you. So let's make our way out and then take a left. And there she is. Hey, Shola. I trust Asgeir was able to find a broom for us. Indeed. Here you go. So yeah, why do you need it? Good. Well worn, this should prove difficult otherwise. Though I must say, I did rather well for not having a broom thus far. Yeah, someone like you doesn't really seem to need one. So why? But you weren't buried beneath a veritable avalanche of books when you entered, were you? Right, anyway, it is time I finished cleaning them with the help of that broom. And so, hop to it then, Stola. Using Master Matoya's theme song, no less. Yeah, why do you need this thing? And why are you giggling? You didn't honestly think I'd do it the old-fashioned way. That broom is more than capable of sweeping by itself. Or rather, it will be. Are you gonna do what Matoya does? Time to rise, to swish and sweep, a tidy chamber you must keep. To this task you shall be bound until no dust is to be found. Yeah, and point at it like a finger gun. And it works! The broom is now sentient and is doing what it needs to do. In this one particular respect, I have no objections to following in Master Matoya's footsteps. Yeah, at least that she rubbed off you in that extent. Hey there, Runar. In future, I may need you to remind me that the pursuit of knowledge does not preclude other equally important duties, such as maintaining clean quarters for said pursuits. Indeed. Yeah, Runar's gonna be listening. I will dearly miss this place. These people. Yeah. And Runar heard everything. Yeah, we know Ishtola can't stay here forever, but it may be a bit too much for Runar to take. Master Matoya, pardon the interruption, but the stew is ready. Yeah, shall we chow down then? Yeah, so we're all around the campfire, eating Runar's stew. And yeah, we gave Runar a lot to think about. Is something troubling you? You've been rather quiet. No, everything is fine, I assure you. It has been a long day, is all. I see. Yeah. Ishtola, thank goodness you're still here! Who goes there? Hey there, guys. And you brought Odyssey this time. Yeah. Alphanode, I thought you were following Ardbert. What happened? I was, though I'm sad to say I lost track of him shortly after entering these woods. He seems determined to traverse every ilm of Norvrot in his quest to spread the truth of the Warriors of Light in the Flood. and it seems news of your address at the Crystarium precedes him at every destination, making his task all the more simple. So in other words, we just played right into his hands. Yeah, we're not happy about this. It remains to be seen to what end he encourages people to become warriors of light themselves. But there is no denying that his words have struck a chord with many. Yeah, all over the place. Gotta say, gritting your teeth. But we'll all agree this is just another Aussie ploy, yes? They've commandeered corpses before and to no good end. I see no reason to think that this time is any different, especially when it's that of a fallen warrior of light. And so, I doubt we'll learn more if we remain a step behind. His next destination is in all likelihood Slitherbow. So we gotta deal with it. Alice, are you certain you should be here? If you're concerned about Holrick and the others, you needn't be. Their treatment is going well, but the progress is slow and exhausting for all of us. The best thing I can do now is let them rest. So, I believe we were about to discuss how to arrange a meeting with our would-be warrior of light. Before visiting any towns or villages, Albert would hunt down and slay a nearby sin eater to earn the locals' trust. Our best chance of getting ahead of him is to find one before he does. Thankfully, Thancred and Reen, our return from the empty, have taken up the search. Reen believeth one may lurk beneath the boughs of woven oath. Oh, no, that was Oriange's line. Sorry. Then that is where we will start our search. And so, away we go. Master Matoya! Out with it. A warm bowl of stew will be awaiting your return. I look forward to it. Yeah, he can't bear himself to say what he really needs to say. Yeah, that would be what Runar would be saying. I'm thinking of you. Yeah, let's go ahead and pursue. And for the first time, we'll also get to see Thancred and Reen as well for this patch. So let's go and find them. Head on over this way. And so right around here. Hey guys, how you been? So it looks like
If you were
Arbor
hoping
claimed
to
another.
vent your frustrations on our Aesir friend here, I can only apologize.
Few as they are now, it took us no time at all to track it down.
That suits our purpose perfectly. Now we need only wait for Ardbert to arrive.
Ah, we beat him to it, alright.
Weren't you two meant to be attending to the empty?
We were, and are, but we can hardly ignore the rest of the world. So we thought we might see how things were coming along. From what we can gather, the answer is strangely.
Right now, we think we can do more good here.
It is heartening to have all present.
Indeed it is. The more the merrier to confront this fake.
We will be glad of the additional hands should matters escalate.
Our quarry is come.
Yeah, speaking of which. Yeah. Watch your dream disappear before your very eyes.
It seems I've lost this particular race.
You certainly did. Nice shiny
Although I
axe, by the
suppose
way.
It's only fair. When we first met, it was I who outpaced you. Ravana, was it?
How do you know about Ravana? Yeah, and Shinji never fought with Vana, that was Mathia. Yeah, you got us
Where
mixed
are
up.
my manners? I wouldn't be here were it not for you, and I have yet to say a word of thanks.
Yeah, you kind of did forget to do that back at the Costerium. Extend a friendly fist, or ask whether he wishes Seto were here. Seto Kaiba, maybe? I don't know about that. Either way.
Poor fellow. He will be sorely missed.
Yeah, that's not gonna cut with me. Tell us who you really are. Yeah, indeed, Ardbert, or I thought you were supposed to be good at this.
Very well. Let us forego this pretense.
Yeah, please.
After all, it was never you that I needed to deceive.
Yeah, his true face gets revealed.
It is I, Elizabeth. Through your time in Emet-Selk's imitation of our home, I dare say you have gained a better understanding of my role since last we met. Not that it matters.
We understand your role, emissary, but not your goal. What is it that you seek to achieve?
Shouldn't it be obvious?
I seek to enact the will of the Convocation, of course. If it helps you to think of me as but another Ascian, no different in nature or purpose from the rest, you are welcome to do so.
Once, I would have said your goal was destruction alone. Now I understand that you fight for something you love, just as we do. Yet though we seem doomed to clash, I bid you consider Emet-Selk's final words. Remember that we once lived, he said. Had he not seen some glimmer of hope in our kind, I do not believe he would have spoken thus.
Yeah, what's he to
None
that?
better understood your plight than he. His words must surely be worthy of your consideration.
Yeah, what's he to that?
How very unlike you to err so gravely.
Why is that?
That one should stray at the end of so onerous a path is understandable. But I had thought you above such weakness. Mayhap you thought the same. Would that I had been present to offer correction.
Yeah, what were you doing in the meantime?
But I shall do so now, as is my duty, and return all to its proper course. As for you, look at yourselves. Look at your history. Look back 100 short years to how your greatest warriors were undone. And now, at but a word from me, you raise your hands in answer like the puppets you are.
Ouch.
Naught has changed. You fail, and you fail, and you learn nothing. Allow that which is most important to slip through your fumbling fingers like so many grains of sand, again and again and again, and you would remember us. You do forget yourselves.
Yeah, he's certainly a lot more pessimistic than the last time we saw him.
There is no common ground to be found between you and I, nor do I require any. I have my duty.
Yeah.
Wait!
But Can we stop you from doing what you truly intend to do? Yeah, we're just gonna let him walk off. And we're left to the forest and the stars.
Well, we have confirmed the identity of our foe at least. And 'tis safe to say his objective is the rejoining.
Of course it is.
But we still have no idea how playing the part of a warrior of light will further his cause, nor why he would spur others to do the same.
What's on your mind, Stola?
Another visit to the Tempest may shed some light upon these mysteries.
We're going back there, huh?
Whether we are to exchange words or blows with Elidibus at our next meeting, the fact remains, we know too little. Ere our paths cross again, I would learn more of the world that once was, and of Elidibus himself. In this, we would be best served going directly to his home, much as Emmett Selk came to ours.
Though I see the wisdom in thy suggestion, the Amarot we visited is but a phantom born of Emmett Selk's memory. I fear it will teach us little that we do not already know.
Yeah, so are we gonna get around that problem?
Yet the ruins of the actual city remain unexplored. Given the vastness of the Tempest, I should not be surprised were there more such structures like to those in which the Ondo reside.
Yeah, if there's ought to be learned, I want to know. For a better option, or as long as you don't make me do any more chores. Yeah, I think we all want to know here.
A man after my own heart.
Assuming we are all in agreement, then I suggest we first pay a visit to the Ondo. If anyone can tell us where more ruins are to be found, it is them.
Well, at least we know where we're going next. Yeah, it seems like this patch is taking us anywhere and everywhere. So we'll go ahead and take our 1,155 gil and choice of food. Although none of this will necessarily apply to me playing as a dragoon. So we'll just take this exquisite beef stew. And so, now that that quest is finished, let's go ahead and speak with the Shola for the next one. We'll move on to the quest entitled Deep Designs. Ishtola would have you part for the Tempest without delay. Afternoon has the right of it. Let us pay visit to the Ondo. We should speak with Thoth Art first. As chieftain, he is doubtless privy to a great many secrets. Indeed he would be. So away we go. So yeah, sorry there, Runar, but we're gonna have to take a rain check on that stew. Off we go, back to the Tempest. And of course, it'll be busy here as well. Alright, let's go speak with Tosh off. I have sent for no fiendless ones. Perhaps you come seeking something of us? Yes, indeed we do. Yeah, let's explain why we're here. Ruins which you're kind of yet to explore. I see. I know of one such place. Alas, under these circumstances, I'm afraid we can spare none to guide you there. And what circumstances are these? Yeah, explain. Rather than hunt for their own meals, the Benthos have pillaged our stores of Mineri liver. They must be replenished with haste. The Benthos, a particularly violent tribe of Ondo, if I recall. A band of bottom feeders. We lost much in the flood, but while others work to rebuild, they resort to thievery and murder. Revenge, they call it, for when they prey upon your kind. But do not be fooled. They care not who they harm. Would that we had warriors to challenge them. This is not the first time they have stolen from us, but there is no resource more precious than liver. All must dedicate themselves to the hunt. Unless, of course, we were to reclaim the livers for you. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. It seems a fitting payment for vital information, does it not? Moreover, one could argue that by employing Bismarck to reach these depths, thereby driving back the waters, we are in part responsible for the deeds of those driven to desperate ends by the changing climes. Yeah, one good turn or all that, or we can't leave them like this, or can we not simply hunt Maniri ourselves? Yeah, let's go with one good turn. I thought you might say that. You've never been one to miss an opportunity to help. Reclaim the stores it is, then. And so, we would be grateful beyond words if you did. The Bentos have surely taken the livers back to the Flounder's floor, but be warned, there will be no shortage of guards waiting to spear intruders. Well, that's why we have the ability to fly. Then we will have to care not to draw their attention, shall we? Indeed, so away we go to find these Maniri livers. Yeah, we actually have to travel quite a bit of distance to where the Benthos reside. So now leaving the cups and making our way northwest. Yeah, we're not heading towards Amarat proper. We have to go somewhere else entirely. That means navigating through all these craggy rocks and the various coral that's residing on them. Yeah, let's make this happen and get to where we need to go and find these Maniri livers. I imagine they must be good for something, so the way we want to go is right through this hole. Yeah, we also want to try and avoid contact with our opposition. I also need to make sure I'm turned the right way. Yeah, I took a wrong turn now. I'm bouncing around everywhere. But yeah, having been through this already, I know exactly where we need to go. And truth is, you couldn't get here without flying. Yeah. They throw off a whole bunch of other sacks to throw you off the trail, but it's these bulbous bags that we need. From the squelching noise they make when they're prodded in the vile stench, you conclude that these bags are bursting with livers. Brilliant. Yeah, let's take them for ourselves. Hey there, Thancred. Are those them? Yes, they are. Yeah, 3 bags worth. Yes, sir, 3 bags full. Perhaps you've deduced this already, but it seems the Benthos have been raiding Clusian storehouses, as well as those of the Ondo. Oranges, pumpkins, wheat. Yeah, they want human food too. But we can discuss this after we see the livers safely back to Tosh off. It won't do to keep him in suspense. Yeah, let's go ahead and take these sacks with us. So back to the cups. And speaking of cups, I need to drink from mine. And so upon our return, let's go ahead and give this over to the man who needs them. Provided no one else gets in the way. I am relieved to see you unspeared. And here you go. Yeah, all safe and sound. Ah, precious livers, I knew you would not fail. We found all manner of foodstuffs from Clusia on the Flounder's floor. Tell me, Torshoth, does that seem odd to you? It is brazen, to be sure. I'm reminded of rumors I've heard recently concerning a rush of thefts from Calusian warehouses. The perpetrators enter in the dead of night and are gone before anyone has realized what has happened. The Yulmoran army has been investigating, but thus far to no avail. Perhaps the reason they have struggled is that they're quarries of the sea. The true question then is what we mean to do about it. Much as I would like to proceed to the ruins without further delay, we cannot allow the Benthos to carry on as they are. So what do we do about it? If I may, I believe that the ruins are in fact key to the Benthos' plans. How so? Yeah, tell us. These ruins which lie deep within the illuminated land are a recent discovery. We have seen signs that the Benthos are preparing to claim them with oil and haste. We could not fathom why, but in light of the knowledge that they have been stockpiling resources. Yeah, it might be a way to take them out on that. It is clear that their queen will soon give birth. They require space to raise their young, and food for both queen and hatchlings to thrive. Well, we can hardly fault them for that. Under normal circumstances, perhaps, but conditions of the Tempest are far more suitable for spawning. Its resources barely able to sustain our current population. There is only one reason they would disregard this. They seek to build an army and with it take revenge upon the Finlas. It is not a surprise. They came to us not long ago seeking allies for the cause. We rebuffed them, of course. The suffering of others will not serve as balm to their own. Their queen, however, desires only bloodshed, and we will gladly send our children to die in our stead. If they are planning to wage war, that changes matters considerably. Yes, indeed it does. Yeah. I doubt that this can be resolved without violence, but perhaps with a show of force we can convince them to see reason before the die is cast. I would rather not risk your people in the attempt. If we travel to the illuminated land, is there a way we might identify the ruins ourselves? Yes, once you reach its depths, go deeper still. You will see a monstrous structure there upon the sea floor. That you have come to us now is the will of the Ancient Ones. They have guided you here that you may drive out the usurpers, those who seek to use their magnificent creations with vile purpose. I have no doubt that they will show you the way forward. Yeah, why are we giving them that look? I'm afraid that the dead do not speak quite so clearly. Nevertheless, we shall try not to disappoint. If what we see lieth deeper still beyond Amarot, I would call upon the assistance of another. Alright then, we'll take our 1,314 gil in the meantime. And put an end to the ominous music. So now, go ahead and turn over to Urianger, who will give us our next quest, entitled A Whale's Tale. Urianger has a mind to call on an old friend. Though our course hath been decided, to pursue it we must needs beseech the aid of a friend. I speak of Bismarck. Pray follow me to Sullen that we might seek an audience with him once more. Alright then. So we're departing from the cops. Yeah, take care there, Tolsh. So, off we go to Lakeland again. Alright. And away we go as the sun prepares to rise on a brand new day here in the first. Yeah, not often we get this particular vantage point at sunrise, but yeah, there's Bismarck over there, but we're not going to be going into him straight away. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, like, can't we just go to the guy and do it right now? But nope. Urianger wants us to go over to the little islands that are over this way first. And so that is exactly what we shall do. Get ready to come in for a landing as we arrive at the dock. Dun 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 dun. And so, as the new day dawns, from here we press onward to the Isle of Ken. I myself shall proceed on foot. On foot? How are you gonna do that? You perfected your technique then. Just so. The water will be as glass beneath my feet and provideth purchase fragile yet true. Watch closely. What, does he think he's Jesus now? Oh, I certainly shall. Forgive me, but would it not be easier to perfect your swimming technique? Ah, 'twould be a pity if you drowned. Truly. Oh, hush, I'm sure it'll be brilliant. Yeah, me being a little more optimistic than everyone else. Yeah. Is he really gonna do what we think he's gonna do? And... hey, it worked. He's done it! Yeah, applause the Marine. Incredible! Yeah. He's showing off his Jesus impression. Yeah, who would have thunk it, am I right? Yeah, well done. But then... uh-oh. This is not the right time to get a headache. Yeah, that was the worst time to get a headache. For the love of... yeah, Thancred just jumps right in and saves him. Yeah. Better luck next time, Jesus. Mine apologies. The technique requires the purest of focus and mind was lacking. More or less. To perfect this magic, I went so far as to deal with the Thwoth, and with their aid, mine efforts finally met with success, albeit on a single occasion. Yeah. Maybe one day you'll get it right. And so, I know not why I cannot repeat it. I thought I saw you waver a bit toward the end there. Perhaps you're simply tired? Well, we have been through a lot. Yeah, Thancred's tired too. Yeah, Thancred? It's nothing to worry about, only a dizzy spell. Though it may not be wise to go for another swim just now. Well, hopefully it doesn't affect the rest of you. Thankfully we have an alternative. A wonderful little invention, I'm sure you'll agree. Yeah. It's called a boat. Yeah, you might have heard of it. Yeah, they kind of made them like many centuries ago. So, now that we're over here back on Bismarck, let's go ahead and speak with Oriange again. I will petition Bismarck's aid on our behalf. Let us pray my diplomacy proveth more effective than mine experimental magics. Yeah, that was certainly something, wasn't it? Yeah, talk to me, man. You speak with the voice of the king, little neighbors. I will not deny you. As before, if you seek what sleeps beneath the sea, I will be your guide. Thy kindness is as boundless as the depths, Serene One. Before we depart, however, I would ask a favor. After our last flight, I found many creatures clinging to me. I am itchy. Remove them and I will take you below. With all haste shall it be done. Yeah, gotta tell us what we gotta do, right?
So did he agree?
Aye, though I agreed to a favor in kind. Regrettably, 'tis not one I possess the power to grant. Bismarck hath asked us to cleanse his underbelly of barnacles. Alas, one must needs dive beneath the surface to do so. Even if I could master the power to walk upon it, it would avail me not.
Oh, for heaven's sake, is that all? Shinji and I are more than capable of that.
Yeah, you're just gonna throw me into this?
With the Kojin's blessing, we'll have it done in moments. And better that than standing here and listening to this nonsense. I'll take the right, you take the left. Now go!
Yeah, like, yeah, whatever you say, ma'am. Yeah, you can tell Alice is getting insanely impatient. I am in your debt. In more ways than one. Yeah. Look how awkward we are. Yeah, we said we need to jump in the water, so that's what we shall do. Oh, Lou's done for the night. Oh, he finished before he got to the end of the main story. Well, he probably has to continue it tomorrow. He probably has an early start tomorrow at work. So yeah, we gotta pluck 3 barnacles off of Bismarck. After a good deal of prying from various angles, you dislodge the barnacle. Which we'll now have to do twice more. Pull one from over here. And now up this way. And there it goes. Yeah, those were some tenacious barnacles. So let's get back up on dry land. And speak with Oriange again. Thine efforts are most sincerely appreciated. I will inform Bismarck that we may depart without further delay. And so, after a few more choice words... Much, much better. Thank you, little neighbors. I remember, a long time ago, another did this favor for me. After the flood, when I chose this spot for my slumber, he came and made a home on my back. Ken was his name. When I grew itchy, I stirred, but he was not afraid. No, he asked me what was wrong. I told him of the creatures clinging to my belly, and he dove into the water. He helped me. He was my friend. He told me he wished to live in peace away from his people and their walls. This I understood. I treasured our time together, brief though it was. Brief though it always is. But I remember him and how he laughed when we flew. I remember him when we slept. I too slept that day and many days since. But the light fades and the darkness returns. Ken sleeps, but in memory he laughs, and together we fly. And I am here. I am awake. It feels good to speak and to be heard again. A shame others cannot understand me. If thou art willing to learn, I will gladly teach thee the language of man. Will that be a yes? Thank you, little friend, but it is time I grant you your requests. But first, I will take flight to cleanse my body and prepare. The dive will be swift and I will not have you struck by errant debris. Well, thank you for that, Bismarck. We appreciate it. And so this island was named for a man. How easily the past is forgotten. He passed not even 100 years ago, yet the truth has slipped from history like so many grains of sand. Might I have some explanation of what he just said, or shall we all stand about making vague and mysterious allusions? While he maketh ready to deliver us unto our destination, Bismarck bade us wait for him on the shore of Calusia. Yeah, we have to go that far. That's all? I feel as though there was more to it. Did you just want a summary, or did you want more elaborate detail? Indeed there was, but it hath no bearing on the task at hand. I should be glad to share the rest with you anon. Yeah. Fine, later then. And Anastasia like, why are you laughing? If Bismarck requires time to prepare, might I suggest a short respite? For Orianger and Thancred in particular. I require no such thing. I'm the picture of perfect health. Mine was but a momentary lapse in concentration. Worry not on my account. You mustn't push yourself so. Please rest for me. Yeah, do it for Reen. Oh, alright, if you insist. Yeah, that means you too, Orianger. Yeah, what are you looking at me for? You too, Shinji, you've been running yourself ragged. Yes, ma'am, but I feel fine. I'm the Warrior of Light and I'm the Warrior of Darkness. I have to be at my best. Just go quietly, Shinji, trust me. Do I have to, Mommy? In that case, I'll leave the old man in your care. The rest of us will meet you at the Split Hall anon. Word of advice, never let it show. When she realizes you've struck a nerve, she remembers. By the gods, she remembers. In any case, if we must be made to rest, I know a place in Solon that's better for it than most. Come with me. Then lead on. Yeah, so now that we've arrived at Solon, we can get back into more casual clothes. Might as well have a seat. We wouldn't want our elderly knees to give out. Guess we're just gonna run with it, aren't we? And so, sometime later... Yeah, having a talk amongst the men. To hear her speak, you'd think I'm on my deathbed. By the 12, I wish that girl wouldn't worry so much. Thy countenance belies thy words, Master Thancred. I'm sure I don't know what you mean. Let the record show that I am here under protest. Though I can't say I'm on the view. Yeah, a mist-covered lake? Kinda hard not to appreciate that. And if the abundance of anglers is any indication, even an amateur might land an impressive catch. Shall we try our hands at it? Someone help quickly! Oh, who goes there? You okay? It's Nightshade! We were tucked on the road from the Crystarium and barely escaped with me life! I suppose we might have predicted this. Yeah, sorry, Reen. But duty calls and it's up to the men to deal with it. You mean you'll help? For free? Thank you! Oh, we weren't gonna charge you. If I recall correctly, Nightshade is the local band of outlaws. Yes, indeed, I guess. I doubt they'll trouble us over much. No more than they already have by interrupting our relaxation at any rate. Yeah, let's go deal with this. If combat is required, then so be it. I'll teach these night shaders a thing or two. Let's make our way over the islands and get to where we need to go. And I'm back towards the mainland and confront these adversaries. Well, why we have a completion quest here? These two have met as well in hand by the looks of it. Someone beat us to the punch? Oh, these guys. I'll not forget this kindness. May we meet again. Yeah, I guess it all worked out, didn't it? Hey, you two. It's not you, sir. Don't tell me we've just deprived that poor fellow the honor of being rescued by the Warrior of Darkness. We had no idea you were in the area. Fancy meeting us again so soon, eh? Why, I believe I even recognize your companion. Really? Yes, from the infirmary. You had a message for the Crystal Laxark, did you not? It's good to see you back on your feet and on my patrol, no less. Oh, it's nothing as official as all that. Strictly speaking, we're off duty. But as we had a free moment, we thought we'd give a few of the less traveled roads a look. The guard doesn't have enough hands on patrol The guard does not have enough hands to patrol them regularly, you see. That's admirable. There are so few devoted to their duty in Lakeland or beyond. Yeah, indeed. Well, we've been talking about it for a while, and neither of us is satisfied with just seeing out our service. It feels like we could be doing more. Like we should be doing more. It's all about having the will to help your fellow man and the resolve to see it through. Yeah, I remember you, the excitable one, or very good Mr. Yeah, the excitable one. You never did give us your name, did you? Sorry, sir. I got a bit excited the other day and couldn't get my words out. The name's Honored, sir. I'm with the guard, but I don't just want to protect Lakeland. I want to protect the lot, just like the Warriors of Light. Sadly, our duties prevent us from venturing too far on our own little corner of Norvrant. What we really like to do is travel to better ourselves and go where the need is greatest. But everyone has to start somewhere, don't they? For now, if we can stop Nightshade from robbing the old fisherman, then that's what we'll do. Yeah, go and send them to jail. Well, well, future heroes are the first, do you think? What's on your mind, Oriange? They want not for spirit. 'Tis but a pity they draw inspiration from so clouded a wellspring. Yet it avail us not to fret in idleness. We must needs press on if we are to bring Elidibus's schemes to light. Yes, indeed. And so, no money here, but one of 3 tier 8 materia. We will take the Savage Aim. And then proceed to move on. Let's go ahead and speak with Oriange to take on our next quest, entitled Beneath the Surface. Thus reminded of the urgency of your investigation, Oriange would press on. Though our respite was cut short, I dare say we are all eager to avail ourselves of such knowledge as the ruins may hold. Aye, and I doubt further contemplation of Elidibus's machinations will be conducive to relaxation. We may as well make for the split hole now. Alright then. So off they go. And we will join them over in Calusia, which is the destination we're going is closest to right, so that's where we're going. Also, I should say hello to Cecily. Okay, let's make our way to where we need to go. So yeah, the split hull is right over here. So let's see what happens when we make our way over this direction. Flying all the way out to the tip of this peninsula. Gotta wait for Oriange to arrive, and there he is. All are present. Now we need but to wait Bismarck's coming. Hopefully we're not too close to the enemies that are over there. And so, we hear him. "'Tis time. Pray make ready." Yeah, I'm ready if you are. So yeah, let's look up into the skies for Bismarck's arrival. And get access to the one and only dungeon for patch 5.2, the Amnesis Antidote. Yeah, you remember the Academia Antidote from before, from the post 5.0 main side dungeons? Well, now we got this place. So let's go ahead and get ourselves ready for it. Thankfully, we have a good Samaritan taking care of the bad guys for us in the background. And of course, not surprisingly, this is where trust can be implemented. So now we just get to chill out and wait for the queue to go up. So yeah, you might find it quite surprising that we would run into the dungeon for the patch so late into it. Because typically, dungeons like these happen very early on. But this time, not so. They saved it right for near the end of the patch. Yeah, everything we've done, everything we were doing has been building up to get to here now. And so now we do the waiting game and we wait for our opportunity to go into this brand new dungeon. That's crazy that the microphone can pick that up. So alright, I'm just gonna lay back a bit while I wait for the queue to go up. Hopefully this won't take long. are you guys still able to see the stream? Alright, we're off and running. Bismarck is taking us to our next destination, the Amnesis Anteater. Yeah, we're doing a return trip to the seas. Okay, so the stream... Okay, I can't see the stream starting again, okay. I was worried for a bit. So yeah. Hey there, Captain Fiesta. Are you ready for a party? Because these guys are. Yeah, they're not waiting for you. They want to come and say hello right now. They're not even going to wait for us to arrive at the intended destination. They're going to meet us here right away. So away we go. So yeah, this is already showing off something that you're gonna see a lot in this dungeon, which is a lot of recurring elements from previous dungeons. You may already be familiar with the music from this dungeon. You've probably heard before. It's the original Sastasha, the very first dungeon of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. Then, the fact that we're getting to our destination while riding on Bismarck invokes inspiration from places like Dunskaith and the Siren Song Sea. Yeah, we got all these various sea creatures coming after us in order to try and get us out of their land. I honestly don't know how I didn't take damage there, because that could have been very awkward. In fact, the way these enemies are positioned is pretty awkward. Alright, that takes care of him. Get clear of that. And go. And there it is. Now to show you the best part. Check this out. This is how we transition to the next section. Bismarck is taking us down a narrow corridor of coral, falling rocks. Like this is like the craziest ride simulator you've ever seen. We even have to bust through a wall of rocks to get to where we're going. Hey there, Nate. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. But yeah, now we have to fight out some new enemies. All while we continue to make our way through this crazy area. Good thing I was standing where I was. That way, not so much. But yeah, look where we're going. Look how this is all set up. This is beautiful. Yeah, who knew you would ever have to get to see something like this in a dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV? And I can tell you already, I've already run this a few times with Mathia and Corinne, and it's pretty much a unanimous consensus that this is already one of the best dungeons ever created. If nothing else than just for this intro area alone. They really went above and beyond with this place. Yeah, and the fact that we're doing all this fighting while on Bismarck in of itself is crazy. Alright, that takes care of him. So now we'll go ahead and change perspective again. Yeah. Shooting a bubble. And thus we are now docking at our destination. away we go. Yeah, and if you thought that was something, well, here's where they start to add more elements from previous dungeons with this unknown enemy. So let's get right in there. Already a 42,000 point crit hit on a jump. Yeah, that is a good start. Yeah, this unknown guy, yeah, he really likes to mess with you, including using copious amounts of AoE, and something you may not notice right away, a spinning wheel of death, which requires you to get out of the way out of it as quick as you can because it can be something that you don't pick up on right away. Yeah, it easily gets camouflaged under all that AoE. You just have to be ready to make a break for it when the opportunity comes. Because yeah, if the AoE doesn't get you, that attack will. And now we got this stack mech. I need you guys to come over here. Oh, red mage again. Oh, we're starting over. Yeah, because now comes an element from the hard mode of Stone Vigil. He's brought a friend. Well, we do have a paladin, so he can survive this in theory. But we need to endure for him as long as we can. Yeah, can the Paladin and I hold out? Oh, stack mech. Oh, how convenient, you're on the opposite side. Breach it. Yeah, you're the only person I can rely on. Oh, hi there. Yeah, now we got another stack mech. I have to run over to him to get it. Yeah, get out of the way of the death clock. Yeah, we've almost got the first unknown dead. He's down. And we're somehow still going. Yeah, I can only hold out for so long. Until I finally run out of gas myself. Yeah, and the thing is, can he continue to endure the stack mechs? Yeah, now we're watching a paladin trying to endure the last 2/3. Yeah, trying to save himself with as much clemency as he could, but he just couldn't hold on. But that's how dangerous boss duels are in this. Thankfully, because we're on Bismarck, it's just a short trek back to the boss fight. But that also means we have to go through the whole process over again. Yeah, come on there, Captain Fiesta. Let's turn this into a party. death wheel. So let's just stop. Go over here. Get out of the way of that giant laser. Yeah, you may also notice the remix of the boss music from Shadowbringers is being used here. Now we got Stack Mech. So we avoided everything. Careful with that. Yeah, you never know when an errant attack from unknown number 2 will come around. Yeah, we've almost made it to the end of unknown number 1. He's down. Now let's never break his friend. Okay, keep going. Run to the Stack Mech. Watch out for the giant laser. Almost to the end here. And down he goes. So the items here from gear are item level 455. And now we run into some more open areas, as it were. That means we get to have the opportunity to kill more enemies at once. So let's start piling on the damage. Go. Now turn over to this side. And there we go. Now for his friends. Stay on top of him. And we're gonna pull all the way to where the next boss area is. Don't do anything yet. Yeah, now do something. Yeah, they really want me to hang on over here. And now, oh, step back. Yeah, we see it trying to shoot over there. Yeah, make it count. Come on. Yeah, stun him for a few seconds. It'll be for his last few seconds on Earth. Alright, off to mini-boss number 2. So now we got this happening. Here's our next mini-boss. Now, with this boss, we're actually going to see some more inspirations from previous dungeons and trials in this instance as well. Yeah, this Cyclops has actually got a few elements of him that might be very familiar to you. Yeah, he's gonna do these moves. Yeah, you may remember these styling of patterns from before. These were used in one of the battles in Omega. But in this instance, they're used a little differently. In this instance, you've got to remember the pattern, the order in which the pattern appears. Because that's when the symbols are going to go away and they're going to blow up. Up. 45,000 points on a crit hit. Alright, so now he's going to do this again. This time the patterns are starting on the even numbers. In order to make ourselves safe, we need to do this. Bide your time, then move. What the Red Mage did not do. Hopefully that final burst did not come in too soon. It did. Yeah, just bad timing all around. And so now we're gonna see this repeated. Oh, stack mech. I don't know where you guys think you're going. I was already standing there the whole time. Yeah, I came to you guys. You didn't have to run for me. Yeah. Now here's where he does the swing move that you've seen in places like the Oran Vale. From the second mini-boss. Modeled after that second mini-boss. To some extent, but he has a lot more to offer, as you've clearly seen. But he's down. At the cost of the Red Mage. And so away we go. Gotta keep the blood of the dragon flowing. Okay, he is going to go for it here, which is actually a bad idea, which is something you're going to see in a moment. Because we need to get to these Antidote Diviners because, yeah, these guys are focusing all their energy on trying to recharge these crystals. And if you don't stop them fast enough, bad things happen. And since our tank acted too hastily, we couldn't save ourselves from all these enemies getting spawned. Yeah, our tank acted a bit prematurely to not wait for the Red Mage to arrive and allowing all these enemies to get spawned. Yeah, this is a place where you just cannot go full blown big bull when you want to. Or else you have a situation like this occur. Alright, down he goes. Into the air. Now we gotta do this again. It's like, where is everyone? Why is no one helping me with this? Well, at least we stopped one of them. Yeah, take that, you. Yeah, that, under the circumstances, that's really the best you can do. Is try and get one down. Obviously, as the gear gets stronger, we'll be able to get more defeated. It's basically like a similar element found in Castrum of Banya in Stormblood, where you have to try and destroy the canisters or the incubators as it were that were inside them. And if you destroyed the incubators, then the enemies wouldn't come out of them in time. So yeah, another instance where inspiration from a previous dungeon was borrowed and used very effectively. Yeah, they just took a lot of great elements from previous dungeons and used them very well. And it doesn't end here, as we make our way towards the final boss. And there it is right there. Yeah, looks like we got a turtle to deal with. But in actuality, it's a fish that's combined with a turtle. We got this thing to deal with, and the tank has decided to pull early. Yeah, this tank just has not learned. This tank has clearly not learned their lesson, and so, very well. Now we have to deal with Ruxdeen, the final boss of the Ammonisa Sanader. And now we have the more traditional version of the song. But I will say though, watch out for those giant hands. Because yeah, they're not here to give you a high five. Yeah, if one of them does give you a high five, they will be damaging you. Now, remember that mechanic from the very first boss, final boss of Sastasha, that you had to neutralize the enemies, but no one did that anymore because of the fact that there was no point in doing it because you could easily just burn the boss down. Well, here you can't do that. You don't have that luxury. You have to kill the ads if they appear, which they did, and they killed off the red mage again. Yeah, you also have to defeat the ads before you can get back to damaging Her Majesty. Alright, now for this next section, we gotta watch which order the hands arrive. Okay, that actually works out favorably for us, because we need to position ourselves right over here, as that set gives us a high five. Now we have to sprint to the other side to find the one safe spot. And that's how that works. Yeah, it is a technical final battle. It's not as bad as the first two. In fact, I would say it's the easiest of the three battles. But that doesn't mean it's not hard in its own right. Now we gotta do this again, but now it comes with a twist. We have to stand over here, or maybe stand over this way. Yeah, because now we have to, any grate that gets a high five on it, that fish, for whatever reason, actually drowns, which I didn't think was actually possible. But apparently in this particular dungeon, it is possible that a fish can drown from getting a wet high five. Oh, not yet. Now. And pow! Now we gotta do some more of this. So once again, the focus is to the middle of the room. Yeah, keep it away from me, but we can't advance until the high fives take place. And get on in there. Let's latch on to you. Yeah, you've had a rough go of it there, Red Mage. $45,000 on crit hit. Alright, what will be the order? Works out for us again. Wait for the high fives to get splashed down. And then hustle over to the other side. Sadly, the red mage got swallowed up again. Should I have waited until the red mage was properly revived? Sure, but we didn't know how long it was going to take. So from here we can just go and finish the boss off. And there we go. Yeah, this swollen fish turtle is going back on its shell and it's going away. Yeah, definitely got a shell shock on that one. And thus brings an end to what could very well be the greatest dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV history. And apparently everyone was in such a hurry to leave that I got everything that they left behind. Including a Dragoon armor, but I don't need it because I already have something stronger. And I got 2 comms out of the trouble. Well, I was the most durable DPS out there, so that wasn't much of a shock. So, after our victory...
This structure must have served an important function. And here are yet more crystals.
I too noted the crystal repository on the way. The Benthos seem to employ them in their spellcasting.
In such vessels did the ancients preserve concepts, ideal forms to be drawn upon in the act of creation. That so great an abundance should reside here lendeth credence to Ishtola's conclusion. This facility held great significance.
It certainly did. So what's going on in here exactly? Well, we're about to find out. Yeah, what's going on? It's images of the masked people in robes that we saw in Amarat. A lot of them. Quite imposing, isn't it? Yeah, and they have stuff to say in this cutscene. Thank you all for joining us at the Anida in these most perilous of times. By the summoning of Zodiac, we have been granted a reprieve, yet immutable as the laws he has woven may seem, they will not serve to forestall our doom. Nay, should we continue down this path, our fate would be the same. I said as much to the convocation, of course, but the stubborn fools turned a deaf ear to my warnings. I hoped that the defector at least would side with us, but I regret to report our overtures have gone unanswered. Whither your thoughts, Vanar? Where you lead, we will follow. Yeah, Vanar? What's he doing here? But Vanar's Okirian, a being like you. Vanar's a heretic! So that's what Vanar looks like in this game. I shall not speak ill of the convocation. They too seek only to secure the future of the star. Yet it is plain they will not countenance a permanent solution. That being the case, we must ask ourselves a simple question. Are we prepared to pursue our chosen course, even should it mean the suffering of eternal condemnation of our brethren? If so, I see no further reason to demur. Let us bring forth the light that shall ever after keep the darkness in check. Quite a revelation, isn't it?
So, it was they who first summoned Hydaelyn.
Their discussion did seem to imply as much, yes. I cannot say I have ever heard of this Vanar before.
For a certainty, Emet-Selch never uttered the name, speak though he did of the schism which Zodiark's advent wrought upon mankind. Some were of the viewpoint that his power must needs be restrained, and to that end they call forth she who would serve as his shackles.
More or less.
We now know that it was this Vanar to whom they looked for leadership.
And that this place, in all likelihood, served as their headquarters. The presence of such intimate records attests to that. I would hear what else they have to tell us. All of it. Did anyone see the source of the image?
Well, yeah, we can tell you where it is. That glowing light right over there.
The device there? Then let us see what other secrets it holds.
If any. Yeah, let's have a look. And so now we have a conversation between just two. Vanar, please. Why must it be you? If I may speak plainly, I'd sooner it were another. Any other. You are our leader. None can take your place. You know as well as I that few support our cause. Far fewer than they who place their faith in Zodiark. And so, if Hydaelyn is to stand a chance of opposing him, I am the only one who might suffice as her heart. Rest assured, however, I shall not vanish from this world. The form I take shall ever remain my choice. Then I will press you no more. Only know this, you will be sorely missed. I wonder, is this how the convocation felt about Elidibus? So you knew about him too? And that's all we get to know from this particular conversation. And with that, the light turns out. That was a lot to take in, wasn't it?
What? Forgive me, but did that not strongly imply that Elidibus sacrificed himself from Zodiark's heart?
7 hells. Then who or what are we dealing with?
Who knows? Yeah, we have a lot of questions to get answered. Isholo, the quest ends with you. The device appears to activate via a form of ethereal attunement, not unlike an aetherite. Beyond that, I can say little for certain, save that we should take this opportunity to see what other records it contains. Well, let's see if we can crack the code on it. But it doesn't seem like we can. No response, confound it. Maybe we got all we could out of it? If I may, milady, the panel did formerly emit a soft yet perceptible glow. That it doth so no longer may betoken the depletion of some essential energy within. Given how long it has lain dormant, I think it fortunate it functioned at all. That may be, but if we can't get it to work again, we'll be leaving with more questions than we've answered. Yeah. The white-robed emissary hath ever named himself Elidibus. Yet if the shade spoke true, Elidibus ceased to be ere even the sundering came to pass. This calleth to mind a truth that Emmett Silk did once reveal in passing, that the names by which we know our foes are not given to the Ascians at birth. Rather, they are titles of office afforded to individuals of merit at such time as the world becometh vacant. Perchance the Elidibus at Zodiac's heart and the emissary with whom we are acquainted be not one and the same, but predecessor and successor. Maybe. It's possible, if the previous Elidibus perished before the final days, the one we know could still be a survivor of the Sundering. And yet, something in that explanation rings false. I'll remain for a time. I will not abandon my attempts to revive the device so soon. There is more to learn here, I can feel it. In matters of aetherology, I know of none as capable as thee. If there existeth a means to learn more, thou wilt surely find it. While thou art thus engaged, we shall attend to matters on the surface. Indeed we shall, so thus we will take our 4,000 gil and complete this quest. So yeah, we're gonna leave Ishtola behind to spend some time in here, so it's a reminder that we have the ability to trust in here now. And so, now that we've got that taken care of, there's one more quest still to do, but it's already so late, I think we're gonna go ahead and call things here for tonight, because I'm gonna do something I do not typically do. I'm gonna show off the final quest of the main story tomorrow night, and then proceed to go directly to taking on Eden. So, this is gonna be a bit of a 2-for-1 deal. So, tomorrow we will be back here to conclude the final quest of the main story, because it is quite long, and there is a lot of stuff that there is in terms of elements involved with it, because once you take care of the final quest of the main story, there's actual additional elements that still need to be shown off. So I'll need to make it a point to show those off tomorrow night, and it would just simply take too long to do that this evening, given how late it is. But then once that's all taken care of, we'll then proceed to try and take on Eden for the first time in the new form starting tomorrow. And I hope that all of you will be able to join me for that. And I hope that all of you enjoyed our first ever 1080p 60 frame stream. It was certainly quite a bold experiment to try and do something like this. We may do stuff like this more often in the future, but we'll see how it all unfolds. I hope that all of you will join me tomorrow as we continue to take on patch 5.2. Even as people are getting attacked by Tragopons and others come to save the day to save them. So, with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the start of patch 5.2 of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers Live. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow as we continue on with the main story and then move on to Eden Part 2. So, thank you very much everyone for watching, and until next time everyone, may you ever walk in the light of the crystal.